We've been talking about how do we start and where do we start when working on ABA with one of our children. And when I say children, I'm not just talking about 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. I'm saying our children, right? Our children can be adult children, right? Where do we start if we want to work on a skill? And you were saying one of the first things we have to do is know where we are. Where are the deficits? Where do we need to shore up? But once we get a really good assessment and have a really good picture of where we are, and we know what the deficits are, I still feel as a parent that even if it's, and we talked about having it tied to a curriculum, like in skills, you can take the assessment, it's tied to a curriculum and give you a pool of lessons to pick from, but there's still the question of where do I start?
Yeah.
So help us, because I know you've got some great tips.
Okay, so if you're using an assessment that's tied to a curriculum, the nice thing about that is it's going to be all probably in some sort of progression. Mm-hmm. So the progression might be developmental, like going by age level, or going by some kind of level system. So sometimes it might be beginning, intermediate, advanced, or just start at certain age skills, things like that. So if you do the assessment, then you can kind of go down to the bottom of that and look at the youngest skills that your child's missing, or the items in the lowest level, like the beginning level, and figure out where those holes are. And those are good places to start. But in doing that as well, you're going to probably find out that your child has deficits across a lot of different areas, and so you'll want to think about how much time you're going to commit to actually working on these things. And if you have a little bit of time, you're going to be more selective in what you're choosing. So you need to also think about what your priorities are for your child. So what are the main things that you feel like would make his life better, or the whole family's life function in a better way? And then if you have key things like that, like maybe toilet training is a real problem, then that might be one of the key ones. If he can't communicate his basic needs, then that might be one of them, that kind of stuff. But in addition to that, keep in mind that there's also some skills that are going to be pivotal skills that if you teach them, you're going to be able to go so much further with them. And one of those is imitation skills. Okay. So if your child can't already imitate both verbally and gross motor actions, then that's going to hold him up a little bit from learning other skills. So for example, as we're teaching language concepts, we're going to have him repeat the things we say in lots of different situations. If he can't repeat us yet, that's verbal imitation, then that's one of the key things you need to be working on right away.